money back, woo! Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you like the again. Why you was sleeping on me? I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a...
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. On the carry, here's Marshawn Lynch. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Earl Thomas in on the stop. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Carr now to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him a first down. 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Express.
On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a third down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. On play action, now Carr. It's caught, Nelson. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The first carry now for Doug Martin. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll run with Lynch, and he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll run for it with Lynch. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Marshawn Lynch, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Nugent hits the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They go play action here on first down. And his first look is incomplete. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vannett. That'll bring up second down.
Well, hey, switching gears for a second, halfway through the preseason, any big takeaways that you've seen so far, Charles?
Just a few come to mind. Number one, the roster of 90 that stays that way throughout preseason, I think is a boon for every team because you can practice a little bit better, get a few more things done because you have more bodies, and those guys get to get on tape for 4 preseason games. So I think that's really good. The other part is normal execution, struggle a little bit. Early in the season, guys trying to get it back together. And last but not least, the practice of coming together with another team, 2 joint practices before a preseason game, becoming more and more widespread, and you get a lot of really good competition and practice with the best versus the best from each team.
He'll have a first down past the 40, and he takes it all the way up to the 47. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's complete to Jerron Brown. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. 45 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Wilson will throw again. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett from 8 yards out. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And his kick is right through. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right. Does it. Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Carr gives to Marshawn. And he's got some space here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Carr gives to Richard. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That one 28 yards on the ground.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried them down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it, or will they have to throw it in order to try and score?
They'll run Martin, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. They'll give it to him up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
6:37.
Carr now on 3rd and goal. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, CD, regular season inching closer. You know, looking at the ledger of the games, we'll just stick with the NFC right now, but it starts with a bang. Atlanta at Philly on the 6th.
How about the last 2 teams to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl head-to-head to start the season? The Falcons, they didn't win it. Philadelphia did. And then how about this for a second game? San Francisco at Minnesota. In normal years, it doesn't get as much attention, but how about now? Jimmy Garoppolo leading the 49ers to take on now Kirk Cousins' Minnesota Vikings.
Anything else there from the NFC Week 1 catching your eye?
Well, I think the Dallas Cowboys at Carolina, that definitely does, because the Cowboys are trying to get back to the playoffs. Dak Prescott, full season of Ezekiel Elliott, and, of course, number 1, the big man, Cam Newton, will welcome them to Charlotte. And to finish things off, the last game of the season openers, the Los Angeles Rams, last year's revelation, taking on John Gruden's Oakland Raiders. How about that?
Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock it.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Out to kick is Janikowski. That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Out to kick is Janikowski. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
To throw his Carr. And Nelson's got it here right side. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
6-18.
On first down, Carr. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he's going to be out of bounds down near the 35-yard line. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Carr now on first down. And complete right side to Cook. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Field goal unit not out there. They want 6 before halftime. The final shot here before half for Carr. His throw caught right around the 6. And with the clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
Nugent tacking on the PAT. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On second down, Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Wilson now off the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
To me, the defense is looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. First down, here's the run with Martin. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Back to the ground, this time Lynch. And a short gain here, down to the 22. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing his car on third down. That's going to be caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jordy Nelson, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Nugent hits the extra point, and we are tied at 21. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense.
And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. And look who, the former Seahawk first-round pick, Bruce Irvin, in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now Wilson on second down. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He hits Baldwin right side. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mario Edwards continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. Former Buckeye first-rounder Garyon Conley there to knock that away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied 4th quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game 4th quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting. On 2nd down, Lynch. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Escaping the pressure right. And this is Cook to the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. To throw on 3rd down. Carr, he's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. He's back to throw. It's caught. Lockett. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
He'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin with time running out. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th. Out to kick is Janikowski. That's fielded in the end zone. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll look to throw. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. One final try now for Carr. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15.